Hello and welcome. If you are over the age of 50 and have been told that sugar is your foe, I want to share something that may amaze you. What if I told you that just 2 spoonfuls of honey each day could help you drop one of the most risky types of fat in your body? I am talking about visceral fat. That is the kind of fat that circles around your inner organs, including your heart, your liver, and your kidneys. It is the fat most directly tied to heart disease, brain attack, diabetes, and even mind loss. And here is the twist. This kind of fat is often toughest to drop, especially as we grow older. But what if nature had already given us a tool to fight it? A tool that is natural, cheap, tasty, and even soothing. That is what we are going to talk about today. Honey. Yes, honey. Not as a sweet snack, but as a possible friend in your path to better health. In this episode of Elder's Insight, we are going to check out how honey, despite being a form of sugar, may actually help cut belly fat, lower stress, back better sleep, and boost how your body uses power. We are going to walk through the facts, real-life cases, and simple ways. You can try this yourself. So settle in, take a breath, and let's dive into what makes honey so special and why it might be the sweet change your body has been waiting for. Why belly fat gets worse with age. You know, it is one thing to gain a little weight over the years. That is normal. Our bodies change, our hormones shift. And let's be honest, life just happens. But there is a specific kind of weight gain that most people never talk about. It is not just the fat you can pinch on the outside. It is the fat hiding deep inside. Your belly, surrounding your organs. This is called visceral fat, spelled V-I-S-C-E-R-A-L. It is not seen from the outside, but it is one of the most harmful types of fat for your health. As we get older, especially after the age of 50, our bodies become more touchy to stress. And when we are under stress, whether it is mental, bodily, or even poor sleep, our body lets out more of a hormone called cortisol. Now here is where it gets grave. Visceral fat has more cortisol hooks than any other fat in the body. That means every time cortisol rises, your body is more likely to store fat deep in the belly around your organs, not just under the skin. Studies have shown that high levels of visceral fat are linked to higher risks of heart disease, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, and even brain drop, including states like Alzheimer's disease. So this is not just about how we look, it is about how long and how well we live. And I want you to know, this is not about shame or blame. This is about grasping what is going on inside your body so you can start taking gentle, working steps to back it. Now the good news is that we are not helpless. There are natural science-backed ways to cut visceral fat, and one of them might just be sitting quietly in your pantry waiting to help. Let's talk about that next. What the science says. Honey versus sugar. Let me take you back to a great study that really caught my eye. Not because it was showy, but because it was simple, clear, and deeply key for anyone over 50 who's trying to make better picks for their health. Folks from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, one of the most trusted food journals in the world, set up a study that matched 2 common sources of sweetness, regular table sugar and natural honey. They took 2 groups of people. Each group was given exactly 450 calories worth of carbs. That's about the amount you might get in a bowl of cereal with milk and a banana. But here's the cool part. One group got those carbs from sucrose, which is the science name for white table sugar. The other group got the same calories and the same amount of carbs, but from natural honey, so the calories were equal, the sugar content was the same. Even the blood sugar spike rate, a check of how quickly food raises blood sugar, was set to match. This was not about eating less. It was about eating smarter. And here's what they found. The people in the honey group felt a much lower rise in blood sugar levels after eating compared to the group that ate regular sugar. Their glucose levels didn't jump as sharply, and they came back down more softly. That's a big deal, especially for older adults, because when your blood sugar goes up quickly, your body sends out a rush of insulin, And when that happens over and over, it leads to insulin block, the first step toward type 2 diabetes. But honey didn't just keep their blood sugar steadier. It also changed how they felt after eating. In the honey group, levels of a hormone called ghrelin, that's the one that makes you feel hungry, stayed lower for longer. At the same time, levels of a hormone called PYY, which signals your brain that you're full and happy, went up. So what does that mean for you and me? It means that honey helped people feel fuller longer. They weren't just eating less because someone told them to. Their bodies naturally felt more pleased. And because they weren't chasing hunger or dealing with blood sugar drops, they didn't need to snack or overeat later. Even more neat, long-term studies have shown that honey may help spark fat burn, which is just a fancy way of saying it helps your body switch from storing fat to burning fat for power. Now, I know what some of you may be thinking, but honey is still sugar, isn't it? Yes, it is. But it's also much more than that. Unlike clean sugar, which is stripped down and treated, raw honey holds over 100 active mixes, including enzymes, vitamins, minerals, and strong cell guards. These mixes help buffer the sugar in honey, making it easier for your body to handle and react in a healthier way. Think of it this way. Sugar is like hitting the gas pedal. Honey is like driving with cruise control, smoother, steadier, and more in tune with your body. And for those of us over 50 whose body burning is slowing down, who may be watching blood pressure, blood fats, or early signs of diabetes, these small changes can have a big impact over time. So no, honey is not a magic pill, but it is a natural tool, backed by real science, that can help you work with your body, not against it. And that's the kind of wisdom we love sharing here on Elders. Insight 1. Honey, stress, and cortisol, the hidden link to belly fat. Let's talk about something that touches all of us. Stress. Now, stress used to be something we thought of as mental, tasks, family worries, or sleepless nights. But as we've learned over the years, stress is not just in your head. It's in your body fluids, and it shows up in your body, often right around your middle, and the body fluid that plays the biggest role in that. It's called cortisol. Cortisol is your body's built-in alarm system. It helps you answer to danger, keeps your power levels firm, and even helps handle swelling. In small amounts, cortisol is helpful, but when it stays high day after day, year after year, it can cause grave troubles. One of the most common is a rise in visceral fat, the deep belly fat that wraps your organs. Here's why. Visceral fat has up to 4 times more cortisol hooks than other types of fat. That means when your cortisol levels go up, your body tends to store fat, especially around the tummy. So when you're under lasting stress, even if it's low-level stress from poor sleep, blood sugar swings, or swelling, your body is more likely to hold on to fat and hold it right where you don't want it, your belly. Now here's where honey comes in. In a study shared in the journal Biochemical Research International, brain people found that when honey was brought into the diet, it helped to dull the cortisol answer. In other words, people who ate honey had a lower rise in cortisol when faced with stress. This is huge because it means honey may help guard your body from the stress-linked signals that lead to belly fat storage. But that's just the start. Honey also helps cut something called cell stress. That's the kind of harm that happens inside your cells from things like dirt, packed food, and even aging itself. Cell stress raises swelling and, you guessed it, sets off more cortisol. Honey is rich in natural mixes called flavonoids and phenolic acids, which are strong cell guards. These mixes help stop cell stress, bringing your body back into a calmer, healthier state. When cell stress goes down, cortisol can go down too. But there's more. Honey may also help back something called the HPA axis, which stands for the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. That's a fancy term for the talk system between your brain and your adrenal glands, the part of your body that checks how much cortisol is let out. When your HPA axis is even, your body knows when to turn cortisol on and, just as key, when to turn it off. Honey seems to back this fine balance. It does not push down your natural stress answer. It sets it right. That's key, especially as we age, because our bodies become more touchy to stress hormones over time. So, to put it simply, honey doesn't just help you handle sugar better. It may also help you handle life better by calming your system from the inside out. Think of it like this. Every spoonful of natural honey is more than a sweet treat. It's a signal to your body that it's okay to slow down, to shift out of stress mode, and to begin the healing path. And that shift, from tight to easy, is where real fat loss and long-term health begin. In the next part, we're going to talk about another hidden gain of honey that's often missed. How it backs your gut, your liver, and your body burning all at once. Stay with me, because it's all linked. And it all starts to make sense the deeper we go. 2. Gut health, liver fat, and the body-burning magic of honey. By now we've seen how honey can help set right blood sugar, cut cortisol, and gently back fat burning. But here's something that might amaze you even more. Honey's gains go even deeper, truly, because what's happening in your gut and liver plays a huge role in how your body stores fat, burns power, and handles stress. And honey, it turns out, touches both of those systems in strong ways. Let's start with the gut. Your gut isn't just where food gets broken down. It's also home to something called your microbiome. Trillions of tiny bugs that live inside your gut tract. When your gut is healthy, those bugs help you soak up foods, balance swelling, set right hormones, and even back your mood. But when the gut is swollen, and that happens more easily as we get older, everything gets thrown off. Swelling goes up, body burning slows down, your body becomes more insulin stuck, and yes, visceral fat rises. Now here's the good news. A study shared in the journal Frontiers in Nutrition found that honey holds non-digestible mixes that act like food for the good bugs in your gut. These are called prebiotics. When your good bugs are fed rightly, they thrive. And when they thrive, your gut becomes less swollen, your gut breaking works better, and your body becomes more able at burning fat and using power. But that's not all. Another study shared in the Indian Journal of Experimental Biology looked at how honey affects liver fat. In this study, animals were given either a low or high dose of honey in their diet over a span of 90 days. The result? Both groups felt a drop in total body fat, but, most key, a big drop in liver fat and visceral fat. That's key because too much liver fat is closely tied to insulin block, type 2 diabetes, and body burning problems. And sadly, fatty liver often goes unseen until it causes grave harm. Honey's natural cell guards, especially flavonoids, seem to help guard the liver by cutting cell stress and making better the way your body handles glucose and fat. Instead of storing extra power in your liver, your body becomes more able at burning it for fuel. In simpler terms, honey helps your gut and liver work with you, not against you. And here's something even more neat. It's all linked. The gut talks directly with the brain and the rest of the body through something called the gut-brain axis. That's a real science-studied system that helps set right hormones like cortisol and insulin. When your gut is swollen, that system gets messed up. But when your gut is backed by foods like honey, the whole talk line becomes clearer, calmer, and more quick to act. What this means is, honey isn't just helping you burn fat. It's helping your body reset its beat. It backs the gut tract, cuts liver strain, makes body burning balance better, and makes your inner stress answer stronger. That's why it's so much more than just a sweetener. When you pick real honey, you're picking to give your body food, not just calories. You're picking a food that works with your body shape, that backs healing, not just hunger. And as we keep on this path, you'll see how honey can also play a role in something just as key as body burning, deep sleep, which we'll check out in the next part. Because when we sleep better, we heal better. And yes, honey has something to say about that too. 3. Honey and sleep. How rest heals the body and melts fat. Let's take a moment to talk about something that most people miss when it comes to fat loss and healing, and that is sleep. Now,
If you are like many people over 50, getting a full night's rest is not as easy as it used to be. You might find yourself waking up at 2 in the morning, unable to fall back asleep. Or maybe you sleep through the night but wake up feeling tired,
foggy, or not fresh. And yet sleep is one of the most strong tools your body has to fix, reset, and burn fat, especially visceral fat. Here's why. During sleep, your body goes into what brain people call a rest and fix state. Your cortisol levels, that stress hormone we talked about earlier, are meant to drop. Your insulin touch gets better. Your body becomes more able at using fat for fuel. In fact, most of your natural fat burning happens at night while you are resting. But if you are not sleeping well, none of that can happen. Poor sleep keeps your cortisol levels high, makes your hunger hormones rise, and slows down body burning. Over time, this leads to more fat storage, mainly around the belly. Now here's where honey can help in a surprisingly gentle and natural way. Honey holds a rare mix of glucose and natural mixes that back your liver and your brain during sleep. When you eat a small amount of honey before bed, just 1 teaspoon, is enough. It helps fuel your liver through the night. That means your body does not have to break down muscle or raise cortisol to get power while you sleep. Science insight. The brain needs a steady flow of power during the night. Without it, cortisol rises to get stored fuel, usually from muscle. But when you take honey before bed, you're giving a slow, steady let-out of glucose that backs the brain and keeps cortisol levels low. Even more, honey has been shown to raise melatonin making indirectly by helping the let-out of tryptophan. That's the amino acid that helps you feel calm, loose, and ready for deep sleep. And remember, the deeper your sleep, the more growth hormone your body makes. Growth hormone plays a major role in fat use, especially at night. So again, by making your sleep better, honey is helping your body do what it already knows how to do: burn fat gently and naturally. Some people even note fewer nighttime wake-ups and more restful mornings after adding a teaspoon of honey to warm plant tea in the evening. It's not a sleep drug, it's food. It helps your body feel safe enough to loosen, let go, and heal. And let me just say this from the heart. Healing doesn't have to be rough. It doesn't have to mean hunger or tight diets. Sometimes healing comes through small, sweet acts of care, like a spoonful of raw honey before bed. Like trusting that your body still knows what it's doing. Like picking food that backs you, not punishes you. So as we wrap up today's show, I want to ask you to see honey not as a guilty joy but as a partner on your health path. A gentle tool. A simple pick. One that's been used for hundreds of years and is finally getting the science nod it should have. And in just a moment, we'll close with a personal note and a few simple tips you can start tonight. How to use honey safely and well after age 50 now that we've looked into the science, the gains, and even how honey can help you sleep better at night. Let's talk about something just as key: how to actually use honey in your daily life in a way that is safe, smart, and lasting. Because let's be honest, with all the facts out there, it's easy to feel lost. One piece says honey is healthy, another says to stay away from all sugar. And if you're over 50 or watching a state like high blood sugar or heart disease, it gets even more muddy. So here's what you really need to know, broken down clearly and gently. First of all, yes, honey is still a form of sugar, but it's not the same as clean white sugar. The gap is in how it acts inside your body. Because of its cell guard content, its slower soaking rate, and the way it backs liver work and gut health, honey can be a much nicer pick, especially when used with care. So, how much honey should you use? Most of the study we've talked about, as well as personal tales from people in their 50s, 60s, and beyond, says that 1 to 2 spoonfuls of honey per day is a safe and working amount for most grown-ups in good health. That's about 15 to 30 grams. But the key is how and when you use it. Here are a few gentle ways to add honey in your daily plan. Morning boost. Start your day with warm water and a teaspoon of raw honey. Add a little lemon if you like. This helps wake up your gut, breaking gently, backs your liver, and gives you natural power without the crash you'd get from coffee and sugar. Midday support. If you tend to get afternoon urges, try a small spoonful of honey paired with a protein-rich snack like plain Greek yogurt, a boiled egg, or a few nuts. This can steady your blood sugar and cut hunger later in the evening. Evening. Calm. As we said earlier, a teaspoon of honey about 30 minutes before bed, either by itself or in warm plant tea, can help back deep, healing sleep. Cooking. Tip: if you like to cook or bake, try swapping white sugar with honey in recipes, but cut the amount slightly since honey is naturally sweeter. And remember to lower your baking heat a bit, as honey browns faster than sugar. Now let's talk briefly about worth. Not all honey is the same. When you can, pick raw honey. That means it has not been overheated or changed, so it keeps all of its enzymes and cell guards. Local honey is also a great pick, especially for backing season sniffles. And Manuka honey, first from New Zealand, is especially rich in healing mixes, though it can be more costly. And finally, a gentle word of care. If you have type 2 diabetes, are insulin stuck, or are taking pills that touch your blood sugar, please talk to your doctor before making changes to your diet, even natural ones. While many people with blood sugar woes have found that honey works better than clean sugar, it is still key to make these choices with care and expert help. The goal is not being perfect. The goal is balance, giving your body what it needs at the right time in the right form. So no need to fear honey. Use it wisely, listen to your body, and let it be a source of food, not guilt. In just a moment, I'll share a closing note to wrap up today's path. A reminder that healing, especially in this stage of life, is always possible. A message from the heart and a new start if you've stayed with me through this talk. First of all, thank you. I know your time is dear, and I hope that what you heard today didn't just give you facts but gave you something deeper. Maybe a little peace of mind, maybe a new view, maybe even hope. Because the truth is, no matter where you are on your path, whether you're trying to lose weight, lower your blood sugar, sleep better, or simply feel more like yourself again, it is not too late. I want to say that again, clearly and with love. It is not too late. Your body is still listening, your cells are still healing, and your heart, your spirit, they still have so much life ahead. So maybe it starts with something small. A spoonful of raw honey in the morning, a moment of quiet before bed, a deeper breath, a kinder word to yourself. These are not just habits. These are acts of care, acts of self-respect, and they matter more than any number on a scale or lab test ever could. Also want you to remember, you are not alone in this. Here at Elders Insight, we are building more than a channel. We are building a group, a safe place to learn, grow, and feel backed, especially in a world that often misses older voices. But not here. Here, you matter. So if today's show helped you, even just a little, I'd love for you to take one small act to keep the talk going. Hit the like button, not for me, but so more people like you can find this video. If you haven't already, press the subscribe button, because we've got more tales, more science, and more soul-feeding stuff coming your way every single week. And if you feel comfy, leave a note below. Let me know what part of today's note touched you, or just say hello. Tell me where you're watching from. Share one small change you're thinking of trying. You never know. Your words might be the exact push someone else needed today. And with that, I'll let you go. But not without this reminder. You are wise, you are worthy, and you are still wonderfully alive, with so much yet to feel, to enjoy, and to give. Until next time, take care of your lovely self, and remember, sometimes healing starts with something as simple as a spoonful of honey.